Ahead of the Ram Mandir inauguration, AIUDF chief Badruddin Ajmal is now fear-mongering and saying that Muslims should avoid travel by train around January 20th, further saying and insinuating that anything can happen. 5 days ago, AIMIM chief AIUDF Owaisi made a clear attempt to incite and provoke. The Indy alliance has been firing back-to-back anti-Hindu remarks. But why is the opposition trying so hard to sully a moment of national pride? Well, some reactions are coming in on this story.
देखिए, बदरुद्दीन अजमल जैसे लोग ही समाज में विद्वेष पैदा करते हैं, भ्रम पैदा करते हैं, हिंदू मुसलमान पैदा करते हैं। चाहे आगे आप देखेंगे जो हमारे इकबाल अंसारी जी हैं, उनको निमंत्रण मिला है, वो जा भी रहे हैं, राम की पूजा में भी रहेंगे, लेकिन बदरुद्दीन जब भी बोलते हैं तो जहर ही उगलते हैं।
हम लोग का भी लेने दीजिए।
वो
यार बोलेंगे कहाँ है ना, ले लेना इसके बाद।
वो तो एक तरह से वहाँ बंगाल में लोकतंत्र नाम की कोई चीज़ नहीं है और संघीय ढांचा को मानने को तैयार नहीं है वहाँ की सरकार। वहाँ एक तरह से कोरिया की तरह तानाशाही सरकार है किम जोंग की। अमल हों, चाहे ओवैसी हों, ये सब जब भी बयान देते हैं तो वो हिंदू मुसलमान के बीच खाई पैदा करने की कोशिश करते हैं और भारतीय जनता पार्टी हिंदू मुसलमान दोनों को साथ लेकर के चलता है। आज राम मंदिर में आपने देखा होगा इकबाल अंसारी जी जो पिटिशनर थे वो जाते हैं, उनको निमंत्रण भी मिला है, वो टीवी को भी बताए। तो आज जरूरत है देश में इकबाल अंसारी जैसे मुस्लिम जो दोनों समाज को एक करें, ना कि बदरुद्दीन अजमल और ओवैसी जैसे लोग जो समाज में खाई पैदा करें। सद्बुद्धि भगवान देंगे तो जरूर जाएंगे।
भाई, ये बिना मतलब का भ्रम फैलाने का प्रयास किया जाता है, लोगों में डर भय का माहौल बनाने का प्रयास किया जाता है। केंद्र सरकार का हमेशा प्रयास रहा है कि सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, इस सोच के साथ हम लोग आगे बढ़ने का हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। यकीनन ये एक बहुत बड़ा कार्य पूरा होने जा रहा है। दशकों से जो राम भक्तों की आस्था थी उसको आज पूरा 22 तारीख को उसको पूरा किया जा रहा है। ऐसे में यकीनन एक बड़ा कार्यक्रम, एक बड़ा आयोजन 22 तारीख को होगा, जिसकी शुरुआत लगभग उससे एक हफ्ता पहले से ही कार्यक्रमों की शुरुआत वहां पर हो जाएगी। पर ऐसे में किसी को आने जाने से रोकना ये गलत भ्रम फैलाने का प्रयास किया जाता है।
देखिए, पहली चीज़ तो बदरुद्दीन अजमल कोई मुसलमानों के मुखिया हैं क्या? उनके बहुत बड़े लीडर हैं क्या? ठीक है, वो अपने इलाके में हैं, एक सांसदी की सीट जीतते रहते हैं, किन कारणों से जीतते हैं वो बेहतर जाने, सारी दुनिया बेहतर जानती है। तो मेरा ये है, पहले तो आप किसी समुदाय के ना नेता हैं, ना धार्मिक नेता हैं, ना राजनीतिक नेता हैं। अपनी बात आप अपने लिए रखिए, अपनी पार्टी के लोगों से कहिए। अगर आपको लगता है कि 20 से 28 तक आपको घरों में रहना है तो रहिए। जहाँ तक इस देश की बात है, इस देश का कोई भी व्यक्ति किसी भी धर्म का हो, वो जो कानून से की हुई कार्रवाइयाँ हैं उसको मानता है। राम मंदिर के विषय में और बाबरी मस्जिद के जो आपस में विवाद हुआ था, उस पर ये बात दोनों पार्टियों ने तय की थी कि जो भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट तय करेगा उस बात को मान्य माना जाएगा। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक निर्णय दिया। अब ये स्वाभाविक है कि जिसके पक्ष में निर्णय दिया वो ज़्यादा प्रसन्न होगा, जिस पक्ष के खिलाफ निर्णय गया उसको कहीं ना कहीं निराशा हाथ लगेगी। लेकिन उसके बाद अगर आप देखिए, चाहे मुस्लिम समुदाय की बात हो, चाहे हिंदू समुदाय की बात हो, चाहे किसी और की समुदाय की बात हो, ये निर्णय अब सब ने पीछे कर दिया है। अब सब आगे का भविष्य अपना देख रहे हैं। अब विकास की बात होती है और बातें होती हैं। और 22 तारीख को भव्य मंदिर का जो वहाँ एक तैयारी की जा रही है, उसमें जो आस्था रखते हैं, जो उसमें रखेंगे वो उसमें जाएंगे और बाकी लोग अपने सामान्य काम करेंगे।
All right, let's next goes to Priyanka, my colleague who is joining us live from Ayodhya. Priyanka, what we see right now is, this big comment coming in, which is extremely, extremely controversial, a fear-mongering comment coming in. And as you've been at Ayodhya, I've been watching everything very closely as the preparations are underway. What do you really think is happening in terms of the politics being played? What really is the agenda when such a big moment is coming up? This is a national pride we're talking about, the Ram Mandir inauguration. Many people have been waiting for this event after so many years.
Well, absolutely, Shivangi, and the kind of invitees who are going to be there also reflect of the same. We have seen that the main petitioner in the entire Babri Masjid case, that is Iqbal Ansari, he has also been given an invitation, and he himself has stated that this entire fight has been put to rest by the Supreme Court, and that all the parties involved have taken the Supreme Court's order, and they have in fact they have accepted the Supreme Court's order, and that they are not fighting this fight anymore, and that it has been put to rest. In fact, Iqbal Ansari had also said that there is going to be more talk about development, and the kind of changes that they are seeing in the entire city is something that will be something to look forward for the people of Ayodhya as well. It is not just about the 22nd of January, but also for the days coming ahead. Now, that being said, he himself is going to be present on the 22nd of January when the consecration ceremony takes place. Now, when we look at these images and when we look at this statement, vis-a-vis the statements of the political leaders and the opposition that are essentially politicizing this entire incident of the 22nd of January, they are trying to politicize the entire consecration ceremony. That helps us understand how detached from the ground reality they really are, and how essentially they are trying to nothing more than politicize this entire event, they politicize this entire Ram Mandir politics, as we have seen for the last several decades, that they have used for the politics of it, then be it during the UP elections, then be it during the general elections as well. Now, that being said, once again, there were several leaders who have also raised questions about the security. We ourselves have been on the ground, and that helps us understand how the government machinery in fact is working for the security as well. There have been several zones that have been made. We had seen that the Prime Minister himself had stated an appeal to the people, to the devotees, to not come to the Ram Temple during the consecration ceremony days that are going to take place. So all of that is in place, and in fact Ayodhya is gearing up for the 22nd of January. We are looking at each and every person. When you walk the entire streets of Ayodhya, when you speak to the people, all of them are looking at it as a festival, and in a true sense, as the Prime Minister had also stated, that this is a Diwali that has come for Ayodhya. This is essentially the kind of spirit in which the people of Ayodhya are taking it, and that helps us understand how much people of Ayodhya do not really care for these kind of statements that are being made. In fact, these are statements that are being made by the politicians who are sitting in their ivory towers, and they are in their own echo chambers to actually talk about the politics around the entire Ram Temple, because the people on the ground, the people of Ayodhya are completely insulated at it. In fact, they smirk at it, they scoff at it, and they they essentially say that there is nothing that will be gained by these kind of statements anymore. And these have been decades, the decades of which these politicians, in fact the same politicians, have played politics over it. And today we have seen that Ayodhya in fact had not been given the kind of attention that it deserved. But today we are looking at a roadmap ahead for Ayodhya as well, which is not just restricted to the Ram Temple, but also for the entire city. Now, that being said, we also see how the people in fact recall the time of the Samajwadi Party and how the appeasement politics and the polarization that used to be done. And they essentially remember, and they are reminded of those times when we look at these kind of statements that are being played out by the opposition once again. Now, all of that kept aside, we also look at how the India Alliance from the very beginning, Shivangi, had been completely divided on this entire Ram Mandir issue. They had not been able to give one unanimous answer or statement as to what exactly is the issue that they're trying to raise as far as the 22nd January is concerned. Once again, we are looking at a lot of chaotic statements coming from different parties of the India Alliance that have been reflected, and the people of Ayodhya are completely insulated from these kind of statements.
Right. And Priyanka, if you could take our viewers through the kind of statements which are coming out right now, especially we are seeing that this statement is extremely controversial. If you could take our viewers through the statements coming in from the BJP. Now, what we see right now is that a short while back, the BJP leader and former Union Minister Shahnawaz Hussain has said that there is no negative statement from Muslims regarding the consecration ceremony of the Ram Temple. And he has said that, taking a jibe at the opposition, that the statements made against the RSS and BJP, and the opposition parties have also turned against Ramji. So this is a very strong statement also coming in. Take us through the kind of reactions coming in through political lines.
देखिए, बदरुद्दीन अजमल जैसे लोग ही समाज में विद्वेष पैदा करते हैं।
In fact, as Shivangi, I was saying, that Iqbal Ansari himself had made those statements that he got that invitation from the trust and that he is going to be present on the 22nd of January inside the consecration ceremony, and that in itself sends a very big message. In fact, he had also stated that the Waqf board that has gotten a piece of land for the masjid, the building as well, the work for that is also beginning. So there is no such clashes that have been going on, or those clashes that have been talked about by the political parties for decades as well. Those have been put to rest. In fact, he reinstates the fact that there is a Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb that is there in Ayodhya. And when you talk to any person from Ayodhya, they essentially recall this Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb, where they say that both the communities live together and that both the communities, in fact, for the first time are driven together for the development of Ayodhya and, of course, the 22nd of January as well. So that being said, we are looking at how the BJP has lashed out back against the opposition, and also not just the BJP, but also, we have seen the stakeholders of the entire consecration ceremony, then be it the trust members, then be it the royal family members of Ayodhya and the priests as well, who are talking about how they are gearing up for the 22nd of January and that all of the government machinery has been involved in making sure that each and everything goes without any kind of hiccup, which is why we are looking at these kind of marathon meetings as well, Shivangi, that are being carried out to make sure that they can facilitate at least 1 to 1.5 lakh devotees that they are expecting the footfall of, not just on 22nd of January, but also post 22nd of January from 23rd itself, that they will be able to facilitate these many devotees who will be coming to Ayodhya. So this is essentially what's happening on the ground in Ayodhya, where people are gearing up for 22nd of January, and essentially the people of Ayodhya, when they are spoken to about the politics, they just roll their eyes and they say they do not have anything to say to these kind of people who had in fact played politics on their name for Ayodhya, for the Ram Temple, and that finally that the Ram Temple is going to be completely built and inaugurated, that they don't have any other issues as well. And this is something that has also been reinstated by the BJP as well.